but I can't do that. Plus, I've noticed with my behavioral stuff, I'm trying to rein in behaviors that probably I shouldn't be trying to rein in, but I'm doing it anyway.
It has often been said, mostly by those who have little stake in this game, that when one has a hammer, everyone's teeth look like nails.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Yes, indeed. Brand new day. I actually slept pretty good last night. Something pretty rare. Kitty's in the window. She's unhappy today. She's decided that she's not going to be eating the food that I got her. So she sniffs at it, eats a tiny bit of it, and then starts bugging me to feed her. The only thing I have to feed her is more of that. So it's fun right now. It's fun having pets. Definitely a good thing. But I slept, and my kitty cat's irate. My little hamster is getting older. He doesn't come out and run around so much as he used to. He's not ancient. You know, I can't feel his spine yet. So everything is okay there. He just runs around a little less because he's getting older. And hey, front loading of videos. If you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that'd be very, very cool indeed. And of course, I'd like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people are literally beautiful and literally awesome. They help to keep me and my kitty cat and my hamster alive. And that is greatly appreciated. Without these people, I would be hosed like a literal Christmas monkey. Hokey smokes, and that's not a good way to be hosed. So thank you, each and every one of you. If you would like to become a patron, there are links in the show more, wherever that video description happens to be. And if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there's the PayPal link. If you'd like to help me out without sending money, there's an Amazon wishlist link with cat food on it. Thumbs up for that. Hey, front loading of video is over. Oof. So yeah, weather has been pretty crazy. Hokey smokes. It was gray and diffuse yesterday, the light in the morning time. And then it started to rain after a bit. And it didn't just rain. It rained so hard. Branches and leaves out there were being pushed downward. It was like someone had just dumped out a gigantic bucket on the town. Kitty cat here was so freaked out because it was so loud outside from falling water. She ran out of this room and into the hallway while it was raining. Took about 15 minutes after it finished before she came back in. It came down hard. And then in a couple hours turned bright and sunny. So for the rest of the day it was bright and sunny and not exactly warm yet, but getting there. The weather is odd in our area. I mean, climate change is going to do that. Past couple of years, it has been super, 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 super hot. And even in like last year, the year before, we had a heat dome that was just horrendous. But also at the same time, we're having unseasonably mild times too. So, hey, thumbs up for that. Climate change for the win. Still though, hopefully we are alive. The other things I have on my list, because there's not a ton, I did have to reschedule my Veterans Administration, there we go, I can speak English, appointment. It was supposed to be on Thursday and instead it's in August. That's like 4 months total from the first time I started with all the issues that I have that need to be taken care of. So joy. Not quite sure what we're going to do on that. We shall see. Life is life. You got to do what you can do. Yay. One big thing I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to thank Sebastion Farris very, 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 very much. I have to put my thumb and fingers over various parts. I got a letter in the mail from Sebastion Farris. Thank you very, very much. Inside was a gift card for $20 to Walmart. Greatly appreciated. I purchased food last night. Thumbs up and thank you. As well as just a gift card, there was also a whole lot of, well, there's a smiley face on the front, and then all sorts of text and such on the inside, and then some writing on the back. And not only that, but there is a page with some drawings on it of like old Ray from The Razor's Edge and the Crimson Kingdom, the King in Crimson. That's not the Crimson Kingdom. And then a rendering of Amaterasu, which I've got to tell you is pretty good representation, considering that we cannot see these beings as they are. We simply do not have the senses necessary to perceive them, and we do not have the brain structures necessary to interpret the data that we should be getting. We do not have the brain structures to contextualize the information that we've gotten. We cannot understand these beings in their natural forms. Any representation like that one is pretty good, and I gotta say, that's actually pretty good. Definitely thumbs up. The way I envision Amaterasu in my own mind is a kind of gigantic maggot, egg-laying maggot. So, thumbs up. That's very, very cool. There was some stuff inside of the letter where I've just got to say that I have been told through the years, more often in the past, less often now, but I've been told through the years that my videos and such have gotten people through some very, very hard times. And all I can say is I am glad that I am able to help in any way possible. It is definitely a thumbs up. And thank you, Sebastion Farris. It is greatly appreciated. I am glad that you are here. I am glad that you are on the planet. I am glad that you watched the videos. Thumbs up, and thank you very, very much. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up on that. So, now that I've done that, I've got to try and close up the soft spot of my heart so I can talk about other things again. Might as well talk about this too. I'm already burning up here, so it's not as warm, but unfortunately this house has a heating issue. It has radiant heating in the floors, and right now it is warm in here. Oh, so I gotta get the fans going as soon as this is all done. Yay. Excuse me. I have not been as building up creative stuff in the past couple days as I would like to have been. I can't, as stated, push myself into areas that I want to go into because I have tried to do that my entire life and it has just not worked well. Over these past couple years, where I've been slowly following my creativity through the whole cosmic horror framework and then leading into various settings that has led to the whole inside-outside Razor's Edge setting, that has been wonderful and joyous and great. Sometimes, though, because I get a ton of serotonin and dopamine out of that, so thumbs up, but sometimes I'm not following it into new areas, especially since I'm not medicated as well for my ADHD. It's harder to be as creative as I would like to be. But I can still be creative, and there are still times though, I was leading off into something, decided not to go there, and then brought it back into something else, and it sounds weird. But because I can't follow it into new areas, a lot of the times my creativity just chugs around and recontextualizes things that I have already worked on to try and keep it fresh and moving and inside of the recontextualing of the other parts that I'm constantly working on, which changes these parts, so it has to be recontextualized. Which leads me back to, I talked a bit about Iron John yesterday. One of the things I don't like about language and my various mental issues and trying to talk about this stuff is I want to give everybody a full understanding of everything that I talk about, but that means that I'm going to be spending a half hour doing a full info dump on everything, but I can't do that. Plus, I've noticed with my behavioral stuff, I'm trying to rein in behaviors that probably I shouldn't be trying to rein in, but I'm doing it anyway, and one of them is info dumping. So I've been using a lot of really just Cliff's Notesing, and if you don't know what Cliff's Notes are, and I wouldn't be surprised if you don't, if you used to go into college or stuff like that, classes, and you were supposed to read a full book like Dostoevsky's War and Peace, there would be a Cliff's Notes on Dostoevsky's War and Peace that would condense it down into just the most important points. And if you read that, you could at least pass the classes that you were supposed to take. You wouldn't do it well, but the Cliff's Notes would help you. So when I say I'm doing a Cliff's Notes version, it's just I'm taking this much info and trying to condense it down into just 1 or 2 quick sentences and then go on from there. It doesn't give a full story, and if you don't know the background of the characters I'm Cliff's Notesing, it doesn't really help. But I have been thinking a lot more and going back and recontextualizing. Again, I've tried to push myself out of this to try and go into new areas, but pushing and guiding my creativity doesn't work. I have to follow it. And of late, I have been really following and going back and recontextualizing Iron John and Iron John's situation and how these people are made and the things that make them. Because remember, in the world of Iron John is an artificial human being. Non-organic is a better way to say that, because they are real human beings. In the context of people, it doesn't matter that they're made out of inorganic stuff and grown in factories. They are human beings. They are not genetically the same, but if you do mind stuff, it is 100% the same. They have all the quantum knotting of intelligence. They act like people. They are people. They think, feel. They're grown in a factory, but they are people. And it's about 50-50 in their society. 50% organic people, 50% inorganic people. The ones that are inorganic are grown in factories. And the people that run those factories are very, very militant about their knowledge. In a good way. They guard this knowledge very jealously because they do not want people to just alter stuff and make new people out of this, because knowing people, that's going to get dark fast. And the people that have this tech do not want to have anyone ever design, craft, and build a permanent sub-worker class / slave class. That is one of their great fears, and they are not going to let that get out. So they are still able to grow people. You have hardware, and then there's the neural hardware. The neural hardware is the stuff that makes you a person. There's your neural mod, which is the part that they have to grow in a combination of crystals and electricity. They have determined a way to grow these people that when you make it so that you get a person out of it, there's a time limit on lifespans. The organic people last about 120 years. To make an inorganic person to be mentally exactly the same as a human being, oddly, all of the parts wear out at about 100 and 120 years. So even the inorganic people have a lifespan that is roughly comparable. But the neural mod is grown in this stuff, and then it's slotted into the rest of the neural hardware. There is a neural gel, 2 types of neural gel. It is the same stuff, just a little bit chemically different. Straight neurogel, which works as nerves, and then there's seated neurogel. This stuff is a little bit harder and tougher, works as muscles. You slot the neural mod into the hardware, you pop in all the neural gel, switch everything on, and you got a person in a body. Takes a while for the brain to figure out who it is, just like a regular organic person. But after a time, you've got 20 years, a brand new person. After all their maturity, all slotting in the neural mod into new bodies as maturity keeps up, because the robotic bodies don't grow. You can re-slot the neural mod into a new body. And while that gives you a new body, that doesn't give you a new brain. Your brain is still, if you're slotted into a new body at age 80, you still only got like 20 to 40 years left maximum. And all of that stuff, the fresh new neurogel in this body, you're going to have a clumsy baby-like body for years that you're going to have to start getting used to as it relearns everything. Sure, your brain's the same, but the body's got to relearn. You're not gaining anything with a new body. You're not going to get 40, 50 years. Your brain is still, well, it's got a lifespan on it. This is why Iron John is so horrified when he wakes up 1.4 million years after his entire friends, family, everything dies. After putting himself into low power mode and expecting that this is it. He's going to never wake up again. He's woke up and he doesn't understand because sure, the shell that he's in might have lasted 1.4 million years. The facility that he worked in, the very last vestiges of the ruins of the place are still there. Another 60,000 years, even those will be gone. But that's a testimony to the sheer, whatever the word is, the lifespan of the stuff that his shell is made out of. It is a keratoferrous alloy polymer that will last a very long time, good 100,000 years before it even begins to show wear and tear. So 1.4 million years later wakes up in the ruins of this thing and is able to think about it. It's like, how am I even here? My neural mod shouldn't even be rust inside of my skull. It should be just gone after 1.4 million years. The neurogel in his shell, that should have dried into dust. The K-FAP shell that he's in, it too should just be ruins like the things that are all around him. But when Iron John wakes up, it's like they had just gone to sleep. No time has passed for their shell, their body, and all of those parts inside of them that should have faded into dust hundreds of thousands of years ago. So yeah, Iron John's in shock. And boy, I gotta talk more about the setting and what happens with Iron John again tomorrow, because the entire story, I mean, it's tragic, and I'm still just revisiting and recontextualizing it. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my brain works. Or occasionally, more often than not, does not. Jesse Koskinen, good to see you in the comments. Thank you very, very much. It is very, very good to see you. Corina Venn, thumbs up and thank you. And that is a funny story. Pita Pon 2010, thumbs up and thank you. JAYY, all that, this is how the world, I get the weirdest thoughts in my head. Thank you very much, good to see you in the comments. Nicholas Fuentes, I halfway remember your name, and I'm glad to see you in the comments. Fisher Basham, thumbs up and thank you. In Cryfield, thumbs up and thank you very much. Flora Mew, hey, good to see you in the comments. It is very, very good. I hope things are going well. And that's a good thing. We have Lucas, thumbs up and thank you. Wombo, I'm going to check that out, thank you. Marlon Wolfgang, thank you very, very much. It's good to see you as well. Kapaki, hey, it's been a time since I've seen you, and it's good to see you. Your Potato, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. We have Ben B, greatly appreciated, and again, good to see you in the comments. Thumbs up, definitely. Well, look at that. 14 people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. You get me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people, if only for a short time, and if only in text. But it is appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. Well, holy smokes. Excuse me. I'm going to try and make some phone calls today. I got plenty of phone calls that I should make, so plenty of stuff that I need to try and do. Oh, executive dysfunction is fun. Hopefully you can get done the things that you want to get done. If you can't, don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up. It isn't going to help you do things, and you're only just going to feel bad. So don't do that. And with the covfefe bug and other pandemic type things still out there, please just be as smart as you can for the situation you are in, for the place that you are in. I wear a mask whenever I go into areas with people around. I'm of an age where if I just get this thing, even with being vaxxed and boosted, I don't want to go through that. Especially with my health issues. I'm not going to go through that. So I take all the precautions necessary. Just be smart. That's all that's good. Don't toss your body onto the corpse pile before you have to. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, barring emergencies. And that is a very good thing.